I'm Charlie Fierborn.
And I'm Colin Spiridonov. We're the founders and presidents of Open Alpha USC.
Every semester, we bring together a group of passionate student developers to bring a game from conception to an Open Alpha release. And today, we're here to show off the game we've been building this spring semester.
We added 10 new members to our team this semester for a total of 25 people. And this is our third game so far, after Wishy Washy and Spooky Speakeasy, all of which are available on Steam already.
In this premiere, you'll see a reveal of our newest game's trailer, a Q&A session with our team leads, and a quick gameplay demo.
After the demo, you'll also be able to download and play the game yourself on Steam or as a direct download from our website. Hope you enjoy it.
So without further ado, here's the trailer for our most recent game, Sinking In.
I'm Ailish Turner. I am an undergrad sophomore in the interactive entertainment and game design major. I joined OA in its first cohort, so I've been here a while, I suppose. And I'm the current design lead, but I've also been on a plethora of other teams, including narrative and art.
My name is Megan Herman. I am a junior narrative studies major. I was on the team last semester on the narrative team specifically, but also a little bit of design. And this semester I am a co-lead for design. And that's it. That's all I'm supposed to say.
So what was the original idea for this game and how did it kind of change over the semester?
The original idea was a very complicated horror puzzle game that definitely got scoped down a lot, changed a lot, became sort of a very personal story about this child and their relationship with their family.
Yeah, it's really interesting because we started last semester with a much more tangible sort of mechanic pitch with like monster bartending, and this semester was much more tonal and one specific scene. It was really just the hotel pool and like something weird's going on. So I think especially in design, there was a lot of difficulty earlier on into how to translate that into something more tangible because you can go 300 different directions with that kind of pitch. But that was very much the original sort of, this is what we're approaching it from, is just the hotel pool. And that stayed with it all the way, even though the specifics of how important that was to the plot and the game definitely fluctuated through development.
So there's a lot of mention of this hotel pool, and I would love for you to talk a little bit about the experience goals of the game and how the hotel pool was like a cornerstone of the design.
Yeah, the hotel pool is both a central motif and the central mechanic of the game. It is, no spoilers, but a very central part of how the player progresses and how the story continues, and has a very emotional meaning for the player on their short but important journey through discovering themselves and their relationships.
So what are some key lessons you learned in the game design process?
Ooh, so many lessons were learned is the short answer to that. I think that can be separated into two parts in terms of how do you manage a design team, but then also just how do you not manage a design team, but what do you do and what do you tackle? And I think that there were so many moments where we just learned so much in terms of how to approach design. Very much the beginning of it was hard to find a foundation because it was kind of a vague premise and we had such a large scope and it was very difficult. And as it went on, it really improved by us communicating with other teams and talking to the board. And then that put us so much more on track and got the game to where it is right now, thanks to, all the other teams as well who we delayed a little bit with our beginning sort of gander, but everyone was very lovely and educational.
Yeah, all right, my name's Helen Splight. I'm a freshman and I'm a CS Games major. I joined Open Alpha last semester, cohort 2, where I was primarily programming, did a little bit of design and narrative existence. And right now I am the programming lead.
So Helen, can you tell us how many people contributed to programming this semester?
Yeah, so I had like 12 to 15 people, I would say, actively on the programming team. And it was a pretty large team in comparison to last semester and from what I've heard about the semester before. So definitely a change. Yeah, I just spent a lot of time organizing tasks and focusing on, I guess, like the people. And I think a big thing was onboarding this semester. We had a lot of new members. Last semester, our programming team was about 5 people. This semester, it was like 3 times that, so very large. And we had like a programming best practices presentation. Thank you, Colin. We also, at the beginning of the semester, I went through some very quick like Unity basics that we had to do. So like creating a game object, what is a game object, putting in sprites, making temporary sprites, just kind of some general gray boxing ideas. And then from there, people were able to like run with that in their programming pairs, which is also a thing that I set up quite often every week, actually.
What are programming pairs?
Yeah, so programming pairs are basically just a group to have one person who's relatively experienced in Unity and programming, and one person who maybe is new to the club or just doesn't really have a lot of programming experience. And those 2 people will get together and program together, whereas the person with less experience will drive, as we call it, be the ones that are actually doing the Unity project on their end. And the other person will be looking over their shoulder, giving them advice, giving them guidance. And yeah.
Hi, I'm Coco. I'm a sophomore, also CS Games. And I have been a part of OA since our very first semester. I worked on programming my first semester and kind of like some design, but then since then I've like slowly become more and more involved with like the whole design and narrative process. Still did a significant amount of programming last semester, but this semester a lot of my work has been well, narrative, because I am the narrative lead, so I would hope I'm putting a lot of work in there. But yeah, hi.
What is the premise of the game?
Yeah, so the premise of our game, we started out with just the idea of a little boy like wandering through a motel with a pool, and we were kind of like, okay, we just got this vibe, and slowly that we added more content, and then so now it's a game about a little boy who's trying to kind of figure out what's happening with his family and also like what's happening with himself, and yeah, just coming to understand his own like family relations a little bit better.
Were there any particular pieces of media that you were inspired by?
We didn't really have any specific piece that super inspired us, but you know, I think it was just this genre of kind of visual novel, not visual novel, adventure RPG, I think, video game that I know a lot of people brought up initially, like Witch's House and Eve and that kind of game. So I think just that kind of general aesthetic really directed the way we wanted our game to feel.
So how does writing for a game differ from writing for any like static medium, I guess? And how did that play out during this game's development?
Well, one of the kind of first things we had to get rid of was the idea that we were going to be even like writing a lot. I think even compared to my previous experience working on like narrative, which was in last semester's game, we just didn't have a lot of text to write. You have to like convey that through the design process, and writing, like the actual physical writing itself, constitutes a very little part of the overall narrative experience. And I think that was one of the things I really had to adjust like my own expectations for. And that was kind of unexpected coming into the game.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jasmine. I'm a freshman at USC studying the Arts, Technology, and Business of Innovation. I'm a duckling this semester, so I joined this past semester, and I am the lead for sound.
How many people contributed to sound this semester?
5 people, which I heard is 3 more than last semester, supposedly.
What were your goals for the music of the game?
So I think one of the main goals was we really wanted to set the mood and tone for the game, because a game like this, like narrative driven, you need music to really immerse the player into these worlds. And you know, as the key mechanic is the pool, and so when you transport a character into a new world like that, you really need music to ground the player and to add emotion and mood and to really drive the narrative, which I think is very important. So that was kind of the overarching goal for sound this semester.
Yeah, so speaking of which, how did the sound of the game change based on the player's interaction with the world?
Yeah, so when the player goes into the pool, which is one of the main mechanics or features of the game, we really wanted to reflect that in the sound. And so what happened was for each track that we created an alternate version of it, and the alternate version matches the new world. And so if a player entered the pool, they would hear the same melodies but in a different context and with different instrumentation and different mood, different vibes. And so it would feel like the player is one continuous experience, but the player was transporting between different realities of the world.
How did you record sound effects for the game? Was there anything funny in particular that you did?
One of the iconic sound effects that we have is the mouse sound effect, which our very own Charlie did. What he did was recorded himself saying squeak. And so what we did was we pitched it up, way up, and we cut it and take out the background noise, and that is our sound effect for the mouse. It's not really funny, but something that's super cool that what Edie did was she actually has a pool in her backyard. And so she spent one night just recording various pool sounds, and she actually was in charge of making the sound for the transition between normal world and alternate world and vice versa. And they also sound different, reflecting on which world you're going to, which super good job there.
And will the music be released anywhere?
Yeah, so that's super exciting. The music will actually be released on Spotify, possibly Apple Music, YouTube, and other various streaming platforms. Very exciting. This will drop hopefully the day the game drops as well.
Hi guys, my name is Gabby. I am a sophomore. I'm majoring in narrative studies and minoring in video game programming and game design. And I joined last semester, which was fall 2020. And currently I am the art lead for Sinking In.
So what kind of visual goals did you have for the game's art?
So initially we started out with, we wanted to go for a more horror RPG vibe, reminiscent to piggybacking off what Coco mentioned, Eve and Witch's House. So something similar to that style, a lot of Undertale as well, a lot of Undertale. And though we did stray a little bit from the conceptual horror, we decided to keep that vibe of this unsettling tone and vibe throughout the art. And that is very noticeable when you look at the color palette that we chose, which is for the most part very dreary, except for some colors, mainly reds, greens, and yellows that particularly stand out and give this kind of neon vibe that you would see at a really rundown motel.
How did you come up with concept art, and how did you incorporate it into the main game?
Regarding the concept art, we decided to take the inspiration that we had, which were the games that I previously mentioned, and we decided to mix them with something typical that you'd see at a motel or individuals that you think you'd find at a motel, and attempted to take them and change them in ways so that they were complete opposites or different in the imagination version of the world. So that was what we wanted to go for with the concept art. And you can see that in a lot of, you see that in all the concept art, especially with a lot of the NPCs that were designed. And then later that was incorporated into the main game by changing up some of the designs to better suit the scope. But we maintained the general color palette for the versions in the real world, and then the versions that were in the imagination world had the more eclectic design. Great job, team, fantastic art. Please enjoy the art that we made because we put so much time and effort into it. Yeah. Here we are. Currently I'm using WASD to move and using spacebar to interact. It looks like my little man is freaking out a little bit. He's fine. No, he's okay. He's fine.
It looks really good.
We'll be back later tonight. Don't lose this key. Don't lose this letter or the key. Be good, Mom and Dad.
It's so funny to me that I'm guessing this kid was in the pool all day, and instead of the parents like going over to talk to the kid, they just like wrote a note and then pushed it in the locker.
Yeah, they're suckers for calligraphy.
They just left him there in a pool, like a child alone in a pool. Ooh, that's some great parenting right there.
Oh my God, what's this here? What's all
This is
this
so
then?
epic. No, go back to the pool. That's so epic. It's like
Oh, wow.
a pool party, but it's only you and the duck.
Hey, little mama. Okay.
Oh, whoa.
Hey, glad you could make it. Look, I know Mom and Dad have been fighting a lot, but I'm here for you, okay? Why don't you grab a snack? I'm sure that'll make you feel better.
Climb up this.
Oh my goodness,
God.
look at this man.
This deeply. He looks deceased.
terrifying.
All right, well, the man doesn't want to say anything to us, so.
Yeah,
Actually,
you gotta be observant.
Maybe try it.
we gotta go back into the pool. Hey, buddy. My towel. I can't believe this place still hasn't taken care of their stray dog problem. Say, kid, would you mind grabbing my towel for me? I'm not as spry as I used to be, as you can probably tell. And I'm afraid if I slip and fall, I won't be able to get up. And I certainly can't go back to my room without drying off. So wouldn't you please help me? Only for money, old man. The dog barks and likes the towel. You're too scared to take it. Does anyone want to voice the dog? Because I don't think I could do the dog justice.
Just follow the pattern, nice and simple.
Okay. And then the menacing, like, drop. Okay, definitely. Okay, we got this, though. We got this.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I slipped,
1, yeah. 3, okay, yeah. Hold down for 4. Yeah, okay. And then up, 6, and then 7. Yes.
Let's
Oh
go.
my god.
Yay!
That was surgical.
That was great, team. What a great
was
effort.
surgical.
Does my man say anything? I picked up the towel.
Oh yeah.
Nice job, kid. You should consider a career in professional hopscotch. Thank you. Currently, since you cannot interact with real humans in the imagination world, I gave the hotel guest the towel in the real world. And now he's thanking me and giving me money. You know, back in my day, that could get you a whole stack of candy bars. In this economy, I'd reckon it'd get you at least 1.
Thanks, everyone. Well, that's it for our demo. We hope you enjoyed getting to see what our development is like behind the scenes.
As we said before, our game is available for download right now. You can find it on Steam or you can download it directly from our website.
We also encourage you to sign up for our mailing list on our website to stay tuned about applications, playtest events, and future release demos. For USC students, applications will open at the beginning of next semester, so keep a lookout for that.
Thank you for watching.
We hope you enjoy our game.
Thank you so much to our friends and family that have supported us. Thank you so much to the team. Yeah.
Thank you to Jane
wow.
Pickard.
Thank you to Jane Pinkard. Dude. Yeah. We had a good run, Colin.
Yeah.
Shout out to my art team peeps. I love you. Marry me.